It's the Rose Report with Reds manager Pete Rose and Marty Brenneman. Brought to you in part by Heritage Olds and Cadillac, Greater Cincinnati's award-winning Oldsmobile and Cadillac dealer.
Front Stadium, 70-degree temperatures, a very slight chance of rain. Right now, nothing but blue skies overhead as the Reds begin another baseball season. And they'll begin it today against John Felske's Philadelphia Phillies. The Reds consider to be a contender in the Western Division for this baseball campaign, and today it all starts to unfold. Mario Soto is Pete Rose's opening day pitcher, and on the mound for the Phillies, a man who one day will be in baseball's Hall of Fame, left-hander Steve Carlton. Pete and I will be back to talk about this baseball team and the beginning of the new season when we continue right after this. It's the Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies before a capacity house here at Riverfront Stadium this afternoon, the beginning of the 1986 baseball season. Pete, are you comfortable with this club? Are there any questions whatsoever as you start to play for real?
No, not at all, Marty. I think we're ready to go, and hopefully the ball club will play this year like the weather has cooperated today. It's just a perfect day for a baseball game and perfect day to get the season on the way, and I really have a lot of expectations for this ball club. I think it's a tremendous team. I think it's going to get better as the year goes on. I think we're going to get to know each other. The chemistry is going to be there. I think we have just enough amount of veterans to blemish with the young rookies we have, and I think the rookies have a great attitude, as do the veterans, and I think all the good things said about this ball club are justified, and it's strictly based on how they played last year and how they played in spring training and the different things they've accomplished as a team. And I just think that they know what the goal is for the Cincinnati Reds 1986 baseball team, and now it's just a matter of going out there and playing 162 games and trying to be more consistent than anybody else in the West.
Pete, I don't know that I've ever known a contending ball club going into a season with 5 rookies on it, yet this club does. Does that, any question in your mind about that?
Not at all, because, well, today one is, but the 5 rookies we have on the ball club, Marty, none of them are starters.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things you're talking about. Now, I wouldn't be afraid to put them all in the lineup because they know how to play. And I guess that's just like I've been saying the last couple of years, and one of the biggest changes I've seen in baseball is the maturity of young pitchers that come to the big leagues. I think in our case, I think that Stillwell is really the only one that's really a kid. I mean, he's only 20 years old, but Daniels is 22, but he's kind of grown up. Tracy Jones is 24, and O'Neill, of course, is, married and got a family. He's a grown-up individual, too, and he's spent a year or so in AAA, so he knows what his job is. And I look at the rookies just as teammates. I don't look at their age or how many years they don't have in the big leagues or how many years they do have in the big leagues, and we're going to go from there because I think they deserve the opportunity to play, and if they get the chance to play, I expect them to do a good job.
Reds and the Phillies to begin the 86 baseball season. The Rose Report will continue in just a moment. Pete, I know you're tired of talking about it, you're tired of hearing about it, but hey, how many years has it been? 23, 24 in the big leagues, and now you're a non-participant today.
Well, for right now, yeah. This is my 24th opening day, and I've started 23 times, but I still have to believe that I have other things on my mind, Marty, as far as trying to make the right moves today and hopefully make the right moves to end up a victory for the Reds, and that's the important thing. And I'm not going to be able to help the ball club with catching the ball or running the bases or getting a hit or anything like that today, but that's okay because I got the firepower to go out there, I think, and combat the Phillies with, and hopefully I can make the right decisions as a manager and make my second opening day as a manager a victorious one like it was last year. So, until I'm able to play, you just try to concentrate on making the right moves and putting the right personnel in there and making the right pitching changes and making the right defensive changes and things like that, and keeping the Reds going by just trying to create some momentum by winning games. And that's one thing I'm really going to try to concentrate on this year is getting off to a good start. I think it's very important that we do get off to a good start simply because we don't play the Dodgers until June 8th, and we're going to play a lot of the Eastern Division teams.
And they've got 18 of their first 27 at home.
Well, that's, and they play good at home, and they got a lot of road games the last month of the season. See, and I seriously believe you can win a division in April and May just like you can in August and September. And a lot of people seem to just say, we'll get them next month. It's early, and, everybody's getting their feet on the ground. Everybody's looking at all the young players and seeing if this guy's elbow's okay and stuff like that. I don't believe in that because I think that you can win it. You can win today's game, and that might be the difference in the pennant because in 1964 we lost the pennant by 1 game.
Tony Perez, okay?
Well, he's feeling a lot better, Marty, but I just don't think he can go at 100%. And I had him in a lineup when I left last night, and all of a sudden I was sitting there watching the Lakers in Houston, and Larry came in and said that he didn't think that Tony be able to move the way he needs to move at first base, and if he might make a quick move, it might put him out for a week or so. And I think Tony will be fine Wednesday night, and if I don't play him today, and hopefully we won't need him to pinch hit, it'll give him like 2 days. It'll give him all day yesterday, plus today, and plus tomorrow, really 3 days. And with the right treatment, I think Tony will be able to bounce back on Wednesday. But when you get our age, you don't want to take a chance on a pulled leg muscle because it can linger with you for a long time. And hopefully, I think Tony could pinch hit now. Well, I know he could pinch hit today, but hopefully we won't need him to pinch hit. And consequently, I'll put Nick at first base, which he'll be very relaxed on the AstroTurf. He's played there before, and of course Tracy will get his start in left field, and he's very anxious, and we had to calm him down a little bit in the clubhouse because he's very excited, and I think the same excitement would show on O'Neill's face, or Daniel's face, or Scott Terry's face, or Stillwell's face.
Pete, we wish you were in the lineup today. Suffice it to say, we know it'll be only a short period of time when you'll be back, and the big thing is to manage your club to a win.
Well, you hit right on the head, Marty. The important thing about the Reds 1986 is what we do as a team, and not what I do or what this guy does. We don't want the I's around here. We want we's and us's around here, and I just think that this ball club really has grown up the last year and a half, and I think mentally it's as good as any ball club I've been around. Attitude-wise, I think it's as good as any ball club I've been around, and bench strength I think is better than any ball club I've been around. So there's no question that the Reds of the 70s had everyday starters, probably as good as any team in the history of baseball. But this team here has got guys that can start, your Parkers and your Osters and Concepciones and people like that who are as good as anybody that's ever played the game. And of course, then you come up with those kids and plus some of the veterans off the bench. It's a strong team, and it's up to us to go out and play like it.
We hope so. Thanks, Pete.
Okay, thank you, Marty.
Opening day, 1986 at Riverfront Stadium. Mario Soto against left-hander Steve Carlton. Joe Nuxall's coming up next on the Reds Radio Network. Stay with us.
Now, the On Deck Circle with Joe Nuxall. Brought to you in part by Sears. You'll find more for your life at Sears.
Hi, everybody. This afternoon, the Reds and the Phillies begin 1986, the baseball season here at Riverfront Stadium. And for the Phillies, veteran lefty Steve Carlton will go to the mound. And for the Reds, it'll be Mario Soto. Our guest on the on-deck circle, Dave Parker. And, of course, Dave in his third opener as a Cincinnati Red. We'll be back with Dave after this word. Well, Dave, your third opener with this ball club, and I think this one looks like the one we've been waiting for.
Well, I hope so. Everybody's very enthusiastic about our chances this year. The guys are very impatient to leave spring training to get to this day. So going in, we really feel awful good about it, and we're looking for some big things out of our team in '86.
Dave, what impresses you more so about this club than any of the others?
Well, with our club, I think it's the pitching staff. I think we match up extremely well with anybody in the league, anybody in baseball at the present time. We showed that we have a sound defensive ball club. We showed that we can produce some runs, and I think the pitching was the thing that solidified this club as bona fide contenders. So with the pitching, I think that's why everybody in baseball is up in arms about the Cincinnati Reds this year.
Dave, you look at a ball club like this, and I'm sure your years with the Pirates, could you remember 5 rookies making a ball club?
Well, no, not really. I mean, this is definitely kind of unusual. But these guys, they went out and they worked hard. They had successful minor league careers, and they did everything it takes to make this club. I'm sure if Pete felt like they shouldn't be here, they wouldn't be here. But I think they're capable of helping this ball club. The guys like Cal Daniels, who was definitely ready. He's a bona fide 300 hitter. O'Neill did everything that he could possibly do to make this club. Tracy Jones played outstanding. Stillwell's an excellent shortstop, and he's got to mature sometime, so why not right now? And all these players are very capable players, and they deserve to be here.
Dave, this ball club and the makeup of it, and you look over the personnel on the ball club and go right through it. I don't know if there's a place where you could say, well, maybe we could use a little bit right here, but I don't know where it is.
Well, really, I think we're pretty sound. We got right-hand pitch hitting was one thing that we were worried about, and Tracy Jones is capable of doing that. When Tony's not playing, he can come off the bench as a right-hand pitch hitter. I think one of the major things to our ball club is that we got so much bench strength. We got guys that, and then some clubs will probably be starting somewhere. So I think we're strong all the way through. We got strong bullpen, strong starting staff, and it is kind of hard to find a weak link in our ball club starting going into the season.
Dave, for yourself, you you look at Buddy Bell, I know it's been used many times, and Bo Diaz being here all year, and put them in that offense with you, can you see a better year for yourself or not?
Well, I'm looking to get some pitchers this year. I think now the pitchers in the National League are faced with basically who do I want to beat me. Of course, Nick is swinging the bat real well right now, and Buddy Bell has got a half season on his belt where he's seen some of the National League pitching, and he knows what to expect this year, and we look for big things out of him. I think Bo just basically getting the ring rust off because he didn't play that much. So I'm looking to be out there and get better pitches this year and possibly improve my RBI production.
I think one of the things that really we don't kind of look at, I think, is the defense of this ball club. It's a heck of a lot better, I believe, than a lot of people give it credit for.
Oh, without a doubt. I think we're sound defensively. Ronnie and David has been tough up the middle for years. Buddy Bell is definitely one of the best defensive third basemen in this league. Pete and Tony definitely hold their own out there. Eric Davis hasn't won the Golden Glove yet, but he will. Believe me, he really will. And I'm still holding my own out there. And Nick has improved as a left fielder. And needless to say, Bo has been one of the best catchers in the league for a long time.
There's one point I think we sometimes talk about, the reputation of someone being able to throw like a Bo Diaz or a Sal Butera, where it kind of stops things over at first base just a bit, maybe.
Yes, that's true. I think the one thing that I noticed about Bo is he really comes out to shoot extremely quick. He uses more of a flip type throw with something on it. I think he stresses his release more than actually getting velocity on the ball. Sal just actually has a strong arm. His technique is throwing, from me watching him, is a good one, and he just has a strong arm. So we're sound in the catching department without a doubt.
Dave, the league overall, our division, you hate to see things happen like happened to Pedro Guerrero, but that's all part of this game of baseball.
Yes, that's true. I really sympathize with Pedro, the Dodgers organization, and especially the Dodgers fans, because he's provided so many thrills. But when you think in terms of a Dave Van Garder, too, who hurt his wrist with us, it's a similar blow to our ball club. So I just wish Pedro the best, and I hope his leg heals up where he can come back and play up to his caliber, because he's a great ball player and he was a credit to the game of baseball.
Dave, I know getting off to a good start has been you guys talk all spring training. We want to get going in a hurry this year.
Yeah, I think it's vitally important because Houston is definitely always been a good team on paper. San Diego is enthusiastic about this year. Chuck Tanner has came to Atlanta and put together a good offensive attack over there. And needless to say, the Dodgers won it last year, and we're pretty good. So I think we could do a lot of damage if we just get out to shoot well. We could probably put a little distance between us and those other teams. And I think they're probably stressing the same thing to those teams that I mentioned right now. But it's going to be important for us to get a good start to win this West.
Do you feel that the last few days of spring training passed the message around, maybe?
I think so. I saw the guys' intensity rise in our style of play. Everybody was swinging the bat throughout the lineup pretty well. And it was a sign of us being ready to open this season and being ready to get off to a good start.
Well, let's do it with one this afternoon.
I would love to, Joe.
All right. Dave Parker has been our guest. Stay tuned, and we'll look at this afternoon's starting pitchers after this word. Well, this afternoon, this 1986 opener, it'll be Steve Carlton, the lefty, on the mound for the Phillies, and Mario Soto for the Reds. Soto last year started 36 times, won 12 and lost 15, and Carlton 1 and 8 last year in 16 starts. Of course, Steve with arm problems. This will be Mario's 5th consecutive start. In an opener, he's won 3 straight. Steve Carlton making his 8th consecutive start, and overall, Steve has won 3 and lost 8. In fact, this afternoon, he ties Tom Seaver for the National League record of 15 opening day starts. On the other end, Mario Soto, as we mentioned last year, he was 1 and 2 against Philadelphia, 7 and 6 lifetime. In Carlton, the Reds did not face Steve last year, and his lifetime record against Cincinnati, 14 wins and 19 losses. So once again, your starters, Mario Soto, 12 and 15 last year. Steve Carlton for the Phillies, 1 and 8. We'll be back with play-by-play in just a couple of minutes.
The Cincinnati Reds are on the air. Cincinnati Reds baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with a first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. By Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in 1986. By Community Mutual Insurance Company, bringing all of Ohio the best Blue Cross and Blue Shield benefits ever. By Steel chainsaws, brush cutters, and leaf blowers. By Marathon and Marathon dealers and distributors, best in the long run. By your local Pepsi Cola bottlers. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. And by Lancaster Limited Reserve Chewing Tobacco. It's worth looking for. Cincinnati Reds Baseball is a production of the Cincinnati Reds Broadcast Department. Roger Playmeyer, executive producer. Now, for all the play-by-play action of Cincinnati Reds Baseball, here's Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall.
Another opening of another show, and in Cincinnati, the opening is another baseball season, and in this town, it is truly unique. It's the Reds against the Philadelphia Phillies before a standing-room-only crowd. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marty Brenneman, along with Joe Nuxall. So pleased that you're spending a very special afternoon with us. Joe, you're 35th. As a player and as a broadcaster, it still represents something big.
Well, Marty, I've said so many times, you just can't prepare for opening day in Cincinnati. It's a special day, not only for the ball players, but all of the great fans of this area, and boy, I hope we have a good one.
Well, we've got Steve Physiak, our colleague, standing by on the field with a very excited young man. Steve?
I guess a little bit nervous, Tracy Jones. You could be this afternoon. You're making your first starts. Sellout crowd, jam-packed. Are you?
I'm always nervous. Even in practice, I'm nervous. But this is a great opportunity for me, and I'm going to make the most out of it.
What do you want to be able to show Cincinnati today?
Just that you got a ball player in Tracy Jones that gives 100%. And I run every ball out, and I try to play like my manager.
Tracy, good luck today.
Thanks.
Tracy Jones of the Cincinnati Reds will come back with the starting lineups and play-by-play action of today's game between the Phillies and Reds after these words.
Well, a full house here at Riverfront this afternoon in the 1986 opener, and what a perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky. It's, well, one of the best days I can remember for an opening day in Cincinnati in the history of my history, I guess I should say. But it should be a great ball game. Steve Carlton will be on the mound for the Phillies, and of course Steve last year shut down with some arm problems, started just 16 games, won only one. Mario Soto, on the other hand, made 36 starts for the Reds last year and won 12 and lost 15. Taking a look at the starting lineups for the Phils, in left field and leading off, a former Red, Gary Reedus. In center field, it'll be Milt Thompson, Milt out of the Atlanta Braves organization. Then at second base, it'll be Juan Samuel. At third base and hitting fourth, Mike Schmidt. And hitting fifth, and in right field, Glenn Wilson. And the first baseman hitting sixth is Von Hayes. Seventh spot hitter is catcher Darren Dalton. And the eighth spot hitter is Steve Jeltz, playing at shortstop, and of course the pitcher Steve Carlton. Once again for the Phillies, Gary Reedus in left field, leading off. Milt Thompson hitting second. In center field, Juan Samuel in the third spot, playing second base. Mike Schmidt, he's at third base, hitting fourth. And hitting fifth is Glenn Wilson, playing right field. At first base is Von Hayes, and the catcher is Darren Dalton. Steve Jeltz, the shortstop. Steve Carlton, the pitcher. For the Reds, it'll be Eric Davis leading off, playing center field. Buddy Bell will hit second. At third base, Dave Parker hitting third. And in right field, Nicky Saski will be at first base, and you probably know that story. Tony Perez, they decided to keep him out of the lineup, give him today and tomorrow off, and hopefully he'll be in the lineup Wednesday night against the Phillies. So Saski will be at first base this afternoon, hitting fourth. And Tracy Jones, boy, what a surprise it is to this young man. He will be hitting fifth and playing in left field. Then it'll be Dave Concepcion hitting sixth. At shortstop, Bo Diaz will do the catching and hit seventh. And Ron Oster hitting eighth at second base, and Mario Soto, the pitcher. Once again for the Reds, it'll be Eric Davis leading off, Buddy Bell hitting second, Dave Parker in the third spot, Nicky Saski hitting fourth, and in the fifth spot, Tracy Jones, Dave Concepcion in the sixth position, Bo Diaz hitting seventh, Ron Oster eighth, and hitting ninth and pitching Mario Soto. So that's the lineups and the
On the mound.
And first pitch hitting, Eric Davis grounds to Mike Schmidt, and the Gold Glover wings him out on the throw across to Von Hayes. One down very quickly. Lefty Steve Carlton making his 14th opening day assignment and his 8th in a row. That's what his story was in 1985. Steve had some rotator cuff problems that did not require surgery, but he only made 16 starts all year. The record, the earned run average was decent. Everything decent, as a matter of fact, except that one loss mark. And now Carlton has thrown two pitches. And there are two men out as Samuel ranges out to make the play. So if nothing else, the Reds are aggressive here in the first inning, down 3-0.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, Eric Davis, before the ball game, I said, how do you handle Steve Carlton? He says, just wait him out. Be patient. Well, we've seen 2 pitches, 2 outs, and I didn't see that patience. But Cincinnati has time. The one thing about Carlton, he's always going to be around there. Claude Osteen says in spring training he's never seen him hit those corners nearly so well. He only threw those 7 innings in spring training.
Here's a big guy. Parker 312 last year, 34 homers, 125 RBIs, 5th highest average in the National League. And he lines one, and it's going to be cut off deep in the gap. And let's see, Dave's going for 2. And he's got it. He put just a little stutter step as he rounded first and then made up his mind.
Well, he had his eyes right on Milt Thompson the entire way. Here he's watching the ball going to that. He knows he has the base hit, but he watches Thompson go at it really not very aggressively. He stumbled there, and Parker knew he had it. Went in sliding and has himself a double.
Esaski hits it foul and hard, and the Reds are going after early pitches, and I've really got to believe, Steve, that this is something that maybe Pete Rose told him. You can't have that many hitters in one inning go up and go to whaling on early pitches, and apparently the Reds are looking for anything good and going after it right now. Jeltz tested at shortstop, and a very quick first inning for Cincinnati. No runs, the double by Parker. He's left at second base, and at the end of 1 complete, in the beginning of the 1986 baseball season, the Phillies lead it 3-0.
Carlton delivers, and swings and hits it into right center. That's going to drop for a base hit. That should score Concepcion. Here comes a throw to the plate, cut off by Von Hayes, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Now Oster singles to right center. And Wilson's throw to the plate, cut off by Von Hayes. Concepcion scores. It's 3-1, and here's Mario Soto. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, and stay fair baseball. Stay fair. It is a foul ball. Well, when you're not used to the big parks yet, you get a little carried away, and that wouldn't have been a friendly fly ball, I'll be honest with you. Suppose you get excited opening day, aren't you? Why not? Reds and the Phils off tomorrow, and then Wednesday night, first night game of the year. Eric hits one well to right field. That might have a shot. It might be out of here. It is! Goes the other way and hits it out of here. A 3-run shot, and just like that, the Reds have taken a 4-3 lead. I'm called right now as some paper is taken off the field and left field by Gary Reedus. So a big blast by Eric Davis, and I tell you what, last year I'm not so sure he would have hit the ball out that way at all. But Billy DeMars and all the work they've done has certainly paid off. Buddy Bell takes a strike from Steve Carlton. It's Jones at third with 2 away. Tied up 4-4. The pitch swung on, base hit center field. Bo Diaz is 2 for 2. Tracy Jones scores, and it's a 5-4 ball game. Hit number 7 for the Reds off Steve Carlton. The Reds leading 5-4, and the batter's Ron Oster. Ron had an RBI single in the second. He swings, grounds one up the middle, but there's Jeltz. He underhands to Samuel. They force Diaz, and that's the inning. The Reds go in front with a run on a base hit.
Carlton swings away. Ground ball second. Oster's got to play 1, and the throw to first 2. Philadelphia tries to slug bunt. And it results in Carlton banging into a 4-6-3 double play. That takes some of the pressure off as we go back to the Philadelphia top of the batting order for leadoff hitter Gary Reedus. Carlton normally a quick worker. Today, no exception. Parker hits it high and deep to center. Going back, Thompson. It is gone. He got a bunch of it. Dave Parker taking Steve Carlton straight away center field. And boy, I want to tell you, the ball is really jumping here at Riverfront. Cincinnati leads it 6-4. Now, Dave Parker makes it a three-way tie for the early home run lead in the National League. He joins Mike Schmidt and Eric Davis, and Nicky Saski looks at strike one. Jones swings, base hit left field. On to second goes Saski, and they'll call for that baseball, I'm sure. He wants it. Tracy Jones asking Tommy Helms to relay the information to the umpire on that side, Bob Davidson, and they'll toss the ball out of play. So the kid has done a pretty good job so far today. John Felsky, not happy with the job he's getting out of Steve Carlton, has crossed the third base foul line, and I believe we're going to see a pitching change. So the battle continues between Larry Anderson and Dave Concepcion one more time. And a line drive base hit. Up the middle. Saski scores. Thompson bobbles the ball. On to third goes Jones. It is 7-4. Well, he didn't get the bunt down, but he did something better than that. He drove in a run with his second hit. One of 8 outfielders on this opening day roster, and that might well be a major league record. Swung on, deep drive to right. It is bending. It is a foul ball, and that hit the facing of the red seats. All it counts for is a loud foul, but mercy. That'd be about the only thing he could do better than the one he hit out of here earlier, and that's park one upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike, or make it 2-2. The pitch is in for a strike. Here's a fly ball down the left field line. That is going to drop. It gets by Reedus. Parker heads towards second base. He's going to stop right there with a double. Pretty good opening day. I would imagine Parker would have probably been at second base anyway, but Reedus certainly helped make it easier. He played that into a bona fide 2-base hit, allowing the ball to bounce by him.
Well, we go to the final inning of play here in the opener at Riverfront. The Reds leading 7-4. The Phillies will send up Jeltz, a pinch hitter, and then Gary Reedus. The attendance this afternoon, 54,960, and that's the largest opening day crowd in the history of the stadium. 8th largest crowd in Reds history. So Jeltz leads it off. He has been on all 3 times, 2 hits and a walk, and he gets a strike from Ron Robinson. Robbie came on in the 6th. So this is his 3rd full inning of work. He has allowed 1 base hit, has struck out 1. Jeltz takes the breaking ball low. 1-1. Ted Power and John Franco in the Reds bullpen as Jeltz looks at ball 2. Robbie's 2-1 delivery. That's a strike on the inside corner, and Jeltz not particularly happy with the call by John Kibler. Down even at 2-2. The Reds with 13 hits in the game. Phillies have had 7. Robinson delivers a 2-2, and it's fouled straight back. Like Greg Gross on deck to hit for Charlie Hudson. 2-2 again, swinging a foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Steve Jeltz, leading it off here in the 9th. The Reds up by 3, 7-4, and Jeltz strike 3 called. It's the inside corner, and Jeltz not happy at all with the call, but Ron Robinson has his second strikeout. A 1 away, and the batter is Greg Gross. Gross, a left-handed hitter. He hit .356 in the spring, and basically a pinch hitter, Gross. Robbie delivers, Gross takes, and that's strike 1 called. The 0-1 high and outside with the fastball. 1-1 to Gross. Well, Ron Robinson has done the job to this point. Came on for Mario and retired the side. Swing, ground ball. Oster to his left. Fields flips it to Isaski, 2 away. Two out, and Gary Reedus steps in. Gary doubled in the first, a ball that Tracy Jones had in his glove when he hit the turf. It bounded out. Second inning, he bounced to Isaski. In the 4th, he grounded to Bell, and then the 7th against Robinson struck out. He takes high from Robbie, a ball. Outfield straight away. Robinson works, and a strike called to Reedus. Well, the Reds are not away from winning their opener for the 4th consecutive year. Pitch swung on and fouled by Reedus into the seats. And the count. A ball, 2 strikes. Well, let's end it on a strikeout. And the fans come alive. They want that, Kay. Robbie takes a deep breath, winds, and delivers inside with a breaking pitch. It evens 2-2. Bo Diaz hangs the sign. Ron Robinson delivers, and the curveball just inside. Full count to Gary Reedus. Bill Thompson on deck. Payoff on the way, and it swung on and popped up in the infield. Davey Concepcion, Ron Oster. Ron Oster calls, makes the play, and this one belongs to the Reds. A 7-4 win for the Reds. And the opener of this 1986 season, a big hit by Eric Davis. We'll come back and look at some of the scoring after this word.
Well, it was an afternoon that did not start out well for the Reds on the field. In fact, the Philadelphia Phillies came out smoking in the top half of the 1st inning, but really aided by an error on the part of Mario Soto. After Gary Reedus had led off with a double off the glove of left fielder Tracy Jones, Milt Thompson put down a bunt. Soto came in, tried to pick it up, could not do it. He was charged with an error. Thompson got a sacrifice, and the Phillies had him at 1st and 3rd. Samuel bounced to 3rd. Nobody was able to go. Thompson, by that time, had stolen 2nd, but then Mike Schmidt drew an intentional walk. Glenn Wilson, a sacrifice fly to center, 1-0, and the big hit in the inning, a 2-run double down the right field line by Von Hayes, and the Phillies were in front 3-0. The Reds did not strike until their 2nd at-bat, and strike they did for 4 big runs. With 1 out, Dave Concepcion, Bo Diaz, Ron Oster had consecutive base hits to make it 3-1. After Soto reached on a fielder's choice trying to advance the runners with a bunt, our star of the game, Eric Davis, hit a home run over the right field wall for 3 runs and give the Reds a 4-3 lead. But the Phillies came back in the top of the 3rd. Mike Schmidt led off with a home run to left. The game was tied at 4-4. In the bottom half of the 3rd, the Reds struck again. Tracy Jones drew a walk, stole 2nd, and 1 out later, Bo Diaz delivered home the tie-breaking run with a base hit to center to give the Reds a 5-4 lead, and as things turned out, a lead that they were never to relinquish. On the contrary, they added to it. In the 5th inning, Dave Parker with a monster home run to straightaway center. The Reds were in front 6-4. After Nicky Saski walked, Tracy Tracy Jones had his first big league base hit, and it was see you later time for Steve Carlton. Right-hander Larry Anderson came on. Dave Concepcion greeted him with a base hit to make it 7-4. After that, the Reds relied on the work of right-hander Ron Robinson. He came on in the top half of the 6th inning when Soto was in trouble. Runners at first and third, 2 out, and faced pinch hitter Joe LaFay got him to ground to first, and no more problems after that. He got him out in order in the 7th, did give up a leadoff double to Schmidt in the 8th inning, but then retired 3 straight and knocked off the Phillies in order in the top half of the 9th. All told, Robinson worked 3 1/3 innings of one-hit shutout baseball to record the save in this, the opening game of the season. The Reds had 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, and left 6. The Phillies had 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and they stranded 7. Soto got credit for the win. As we mentioned, Robbie got the save, and Steve Carlton, only around until the 5th inning, suffered the Philadelphia defeat. Tomorrow will be a day of rest for these two clubs. The Phillies will work out at noon. The Reds will go at it at 2 o'clock, and then they close out the series and the homestand in a 7:35 beginning on Wednesday night. A couple of left-handers will be on the mound for that one. Shane Raleigh, a former Reds farmhand, will pitch for Philadelphia, and Tom Browning, coming off of that brilliant 20-win season, will be on the mound for Cincinnati. We'll have it for you beginning with the pregame shows on most of these same stations at 7:05. Once again, the final score this afternoon, a game played in 2 hours and 21 minutes before a record opening day crowd in Cincinnati of 54,960. The Reds 7 and the Phillies 4.